Hey guys, it's out in my shed again tonight. Working on a bunch of axes and hatchets I have. I have a total of 7 of them. You can see this one is coming along nicely. This one was given to me by my dad. I have 2 more that were actually my grandfather's. They were used to build his first log cabin when he came over from Europe. But my main focus is this small hatchet I've been using when I go hiking for the past 20 years. I was in pretty rough shape. The head was black and starting to rust. I had a very poor wrap on it. I took all that off, sanded the handle. I recently bought this wire wheel set for my drill. It really helps clean up the head without heating them up. So right now I'm at that point where I want to rewrap the handle. I have some bright orange paracord here, and I want to put a half wrap of it on this handle. And there's 3 reasons why I wrap a handle, or sometimes it's called whipping a handle. What it can do is the thick rope can actually absorb the shock. If you were using this hatchet and you missed your target and you hit it on this handle here, the cordage would actually absorb some of the shock. Plus, it's always nice to have a bit of cordage with you. You know, if you got separated from your pack and this is all you had, it'd be nice to have a bit of cordage. And my other wrap was a dark green, switching to blaze orange. This way, if I ever drop it or set it down on the ground, I'm more likely to be able to spot it. So it's time for me to wrap this handle or whip it. This is something I learned from a book called Outdoors Canada. Some people probably are going to be doing it differently and might disagree with the way I do it. But I have here 14 feet of paracord. And we all know that if you pull out the inner strands, there's usually about 7 inner strands of this. It's going to give you a lot more cordage. I took a lighter and I melted the ends. This is going to help keep these inner strands from coming apart. So what I do is I grab one end of the cord. I have one end going about 4 inches past the handle here. The other end, I make a loop like so. I hope this is going to turn out on camera. So you have a loop like that. This is your static end here. And what you want to do is just start wrapping really tightly. You want to stop every now and then and give it a good pull. And push it up so it's nice and tight. You want to try to make this as neat as possible. You'll see here before I get too far is that I taped up the blade. I don't want to cut myself doing this. So you can see here I got about 4 inches left. You want to stop. You can see how nice and neat and tight that is. And then once you get to the end, you simply take your last end of your cord and you run it right through the loop. And this end here, now what you do, pull it snug. You want to trim off this quickly. It's a little bit too much sticking out here. So I'm going to trim that off. Give that a quick melt. And then what you do is you pull that loose end up underneath all this cordage here. Then you simply just trim off this end here. There, that's how you whip a handle. You can do this with walking sticks as well. What I have here in this container is equal parts beeswax, coconut oil, and olive oil. I have to melt this, but it's really good for conditioning wood, metal, leather. It's good for a lip balm. It's good for dry hands, many other uses. So I'm going to rig this up to a double boiler and start melting it. Okay, so while my wax mixture is melting outside on the stove, I'm going to put on a very simple lanyard. In my experience, there are certain times to use a lanyard on a hatchet like this. There are times when you don't want it to be flying out of your hands and hitting somebody or yourself. But I've found over the years, if you're cutting down a tree with a hatchet, it's not a good idea to use the lanyard. I've had the hatchet actually pinch on me and get jammed in the tree, and you don't want to be getting yourself attached to your hatchet. So I'm just run one end through, pull the cord even. I kind of pinch up here and make sure, you want to make sure your hand actually will go through the lanyard. I've done this before, tighten this up and realize that I can't even get my hand through. And just do a simple overhand knot. Pull it tight, make sure you can still get your hand through. Melt this really good. There, pretty simple, but it works. So this mixture I have here is all melted. I prefer to put it on when it's soft. I find it just absorbs better into the wood. I'm going to put a little bit, just a little bit on the head itself. This will protect it. keep it from rusting. And some on the sheath too. That's much better. Pretty sharp. In case you're wondering about this sheath, I made this a few years ago out of an old purse I found at the thrift store. It's kind of a weird design, but I utilized the holes that were already made in it. Added a snap, added a belt loop on the back. I want to make a few more of these for my other axes too.